Good morning or afternoon, everybody. This is Alberto from Studiocom. Studiocom is a consultancy firm specialized in helping managers and entrepreneurs to open new markets on the international environment. Today we are talking about Italian rice. We will see this through different perspectives. From the perspective of Maurizio Tabacchi, who is a rice grower and producer. We will see this from the perspective of Massimo Biloni, who is a rice expert and also the founder of a couple of very interesting projects that he will share with us later. And then also from the standpoint of those who use rice, Ishizaki Yuki from Japan, who is a very popular Italian chef in Japan, and he will share with us some of his knowledge and a new recipe who is testing in this period. And then Ludovica Girardo from Singapore. She's gonna share us her perspective on the trade side of Italian rice. So, but stop talking, Alberto. So we can start with Maurizio, and he will share with us the different varieties that in Italy we have, and that are also suitable for cooking Italian as well. Thank you, Maurizio. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to hear from you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Alberto, for inviting me to talk about rice and to organize all the people in such a great way. And to reduce the time, I prepared a short presentation that can help me to transfer how I want to transfer to all of you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. Probably you are seeing the...
yes, exactly. Yeah, we're in.
Okay. Just a brief introduction about Ideariso. Is my farm company. Has some data about rice growing in Europe and Italy, and some tips about Italian rice variety. But after me, Massimo can explain better than me to try to answer to the question of the title of the webinar. Okay, Ideariso is a family-owned farm company dedicated to rice. It's based in Vercelli, that is in the middle area of rice growing area in Italy, in Piedmont. We are two, me and my cousin Massimo. And both are not only rice farmer but also agronomists. And but the main thing is that to follow this type of crop, we need a lot of passion, because it's very amazing, but very hard to follow all the processes during cultivation and after that. What type of rice we are growing? Okay. Of course, we are growing rice seed for risotto preparation, mainly Carnaroli and Sant'Andrea, but also an ancient variety that is named Gigante Vercelli, that now is a slow food procedure also. But there is not also only risotto rice grain type that we are growing, but also specialty varieties, especially pigmented variety like black rice or red rice. Also some special variety for niche market, and for example Felix that you are seeing in the presentation. But just to summarize, what we are trying to doing in Europe. The people is talking a lot about from farm to fork. Is the New Deal that the European community, but all over the world, all the people is trying to follow. And also is our mission, is our focus is starting from the farm. We are lucky to grow rice in a unique environment area like Po Valley in Italy. You can see the pink mountain as a landscape that is helping us to work in a good way, and trying to go directly to the consumer, combining tradition, sustainability, especially for environment, but also innovation. For example, for packaging is our target to follow. Now, some slide about rice cultivation. Most of the people probably know, but just to share this info, because rice is mostly important for Asia, and Europe is only 0.4% of the total rice area. That is very, very low area compared to all over the world. And in Europe, the total surface, including Russia, is more or less 650,000 hectares, and Italy accounted for more than 30%. If you are not considering Russia, Italy is more than 50% of rice cultivated in Italy. This is to transfer that for us is very important to grow rice, also not only for internal consumption, but also for export in different countries. In Italy, rice is located mainly in the Po Valley, in the northern part, where the water is available, and more than 90% of rice is located in two regions, Piedmont and Lombardy, between Turin and Milan. And in Piedmont, where we are growing rice, is the most important region for rice growing area, with more or less 50% of the total. Just to have an idea, in European country, we divided the type of.
Oh, I believe that we lost the audio. Maurizio, are you back?
Okay.
Okay, now you're back. Yeah.
Sorry. To explain this slide, okay, we have many type of grain type of rice in Europe. Tondo means round grain, then medium grain. You can see the difference in length.
Length, yeah.
Ratio. But the most important for Italy is the long A grain type, because it's the most important for risotto preparation. Okay?
Right.
But Massimo explained after in a more precise way the difference, okay? But just to have an idea, for long A grain in Italy, more or less 50% of growing area is cultivated with long A. Then it means that usually rice farmers in Italy are growing rice for this type of preparation, okay?
Yeah, clear.
Not only for risotto, but mostly for risotto.
This is already answering the reason of the title. Why you need to use Italian rice for.
We are talking just about the type, long A, and the size, okay? But Massimo,
he will go deeply in the rest of the explanation, of course. Yes.
Pleasure. This is the photo with round grain. That is this type of grain is usually utilized for sushi, for example, and most of the rice is all around Europe for sushi rice is coming from Italy, and this is important for many farmers. This is an example of long-grain rice utilized for risotto. This is the last one. Probably most of the people know very well the two main varieties that is utilized for risotto, that is Carnaroli and Arborio. But after me, Massimo will explain you that these are only two of the different varieties that we can use for risotto, and that can be utilized for preparation, not risotto strictly talking like we in Italy consider, but also all over the world. And for example, we will see the special preparation of risotto made by
Exactly.
our Japanese chef after. Okay.
Yeah. Very good, very good. Yeah, it's incredible. I was thinking about that in Italy we have 30.
I continue all of you.
Sorry. No, it's incredible that in Italy we have 33% of the all rice production in Europe, and 50 if we take out Russia. So it's very, very interesting. And I'm also curious about the varieties, and Massimo is gonna share with us his knowledge, which is big, about all the varieties that we have to give us a picture of it. Thank you, Massimo. Thank you for joining us.
And, thank you, Alberto. Good morning to everybody. I'm here in my environment in IRES. IRES is a Rice Research Center. Is the acronym of Italian Rice Experimentation, and I'm here with in good company with rice, the rice pinnacle of Italian varieties, the rice in the glasses that I will describe you when I will speak about the sensorial analysis. And here there is a small rice mill, the machine to polish the rice from paddy. The rice that is coming from the field is like this, but we cannot eat in this way. We have a mill to make it white and to cook. And so in this station we have a small mill that we use to produce the white rice and check the quality, because quality is very important. So now I will share my screen so that I can give you a short presentation about what are we speaking about. So I'm agronomist, and I founded two companies. One is IRES, is a research station, and the other is Acqua Verde Riso, is the first European company dedicated to sensorial analysis applied to rice. In Italy, we are working with sensorial analysis with many type of food, but rice was not yet considered. Now we can also use this approach with this interesting food. So in the picture, I show you my experimental field. Is like you are with me in the field. Now it's winter time here, so there is no more crop. In the picture is possible to see, but you can have an overview of the colors, the shape and size of this plant directly in the field at ripening stage. So there is not only one rice. So we are growing more than 150 varieties in Italy. So there are many varieties. When we speak about Italian rice, we think just one type, but there are many, and they start to be different already in the fields. Of course, because we have different needs for cultivation. We cultivate rice very close to the mountains, to the Alps, that are the highest mountains in Europe, up to the seaside that is warmer. So we need different plant type to be adapted to different weather conditions, different soil conditions, and then to different purposes, because we are growing rice for risotto, but also for sushi, for cakes, for many things, for soup, etc., etc. So the second slide is this one. Is a bigger picture, but it's another way to show you the many colors, even from far. From the field, it's possible to understand that rice is a very huge world, where even the leaves have different color, the grain have different color from outside, not only inside. So here is a bundle of panicles of rice, and it is already possible to see not only the colors that are very different, for very light pale yellow to dark violet, and with awns or not awns, with different shape of grains, from round type to long grain. So this is something that I'm growing in the research station. So all the varieties are there, because I'm checking that, I'm making tests, and I'm opening for the research station for visits. Now I want to show you the differences, and the first photo in the top is the typical risotto rice. This is a kernel. It's already polished, so it means that the grain have been harvested, and then it was put in the mill to make it white, so to remove the external part. So it is ready to eat. The kernel have this shape, but you see this whitish part in the middle. We call it pearl, and is the secret of our risotto type. Just to make it easier to understand, I show you other kind of rice. In the middle, there is another type of rice that we call medium grain type. You see this without the pearl, is totally crystalline. Also, this kind of rice is used for risotto, but the result in cooking is totally different, and I will tell you why later. At the end, there is the round crystalline type that we are growing on about 1/4 of our surface in Italy, and is mainly grown for the sushi restaurant, because in Italy we have many sushi restaurants. And as you see, the shape is very different, is a round and crystalline grain. And we in Italy, we are growing, we are commercializing very different type of rices. These varieties are not for risotto. We strongly suggest not to try to make a risotto with this kind of rice, especially the long and slender aromatic rice, white rice that you see in the top, that have a different destination. In the middle, there is the medium black aromatic rice that is becoming more and more famous in Italy and in Europe, and the red long and slender aromatic rice. Both of them are not good for a risotto. Then there is a wild rice that is another species, Zizania aquatica, that also this type of rice is not good for risotto. But why the Italian rice is good for risotto and the pearl is important? Because the pearl, this whitish part inside, depend on the disposition of the starch in the grain. and there is some empty space among the starch granules, and this empty space, this air is able to absorb the flavor that we are putting in the risotto. One thing that we consider very important is to understand the difference between chalkiness and pearl, because not always when you see something white in the grain is a good point. Some grain are totally white, and it depends on the bad ripening situation. So the variety was ripening in a bad weather condition and became totally white. This whitish grain in the top make it very bad the preparation of risotto, because the water will enter the grain very quickly and will destroy the grain structure. So when you buy risotto rice, especially outside Italy, don't be confused with the whitish pearl inside. If it is totally white, it is not a good rice for your risotto. You have to see, like in the second picture in the bottom, that the white pearl is remaining totally inside and is surrounded by crystalline part. In this way, the preparation of risotto will be perfect, because the consistency will remain fixed and the absorption of the flavor in the pan will be maximum. So now I would pass back to
now we are understanding why the reason we need to use Italian rice type for cooking risotto. That's the important side. And thank you very much for the moment. We will talk later also about the sensorial. Exactly, yeah. And now we shift to Japan. We move to Japan. Ishizaki-san.
Hi.
Ciao. So I will give a brief explanation of Ishizaki, chef, whom I've been knowing since my first time I was in Japan. So it was back in 1998, and I initially worked at his restaurant as a waiter, and he's a very knowledgeable and passionate Italian cuisine expert. He's been studying in Italy for a long time, especially in Piedmont, and where he got to know some of the secrets of cooking a perfect risotto. And that's why when I decided to make a webinar about risotto, my thought went straight to him. He's a very well-known chef in Japan, and he's teaching Italian cuisine also on television in cooking courses, and he wrote several books about Italian cuisine. He's a member of Pellegrino Artusi Association, and he really busy spreading Italian cuisine and knowledge in Japan. So if I can say, if Italian cuisine is very popular in Japan, for a small part or maybe a big part is also thanks to this man. Today he's gonna share with us the reason why he's using Italian rice for cooking risotto, and then after his cooking will be over, he will show us his result, and he will explain what kind of risotto he's doing, because it's very peculiar. Okay, Shizaki-san, ちょっとok, poi sì. Tu parli, spieghi e io poi traduco in inglese.
Per favore.
Okay, he will talk in Italian, then I will explain in English later. Okay. Grazie, prego.
Allora, ingredienti, tutto questo, dai.
Ok.
Oggi uso di anguilla, mia
Ok.
specialità questo risotto. Mi senti?
Sì, 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 vai, vai.
Allora, questa anguilla, porri giapponese, wasabi naturale,
Ok.
cioccolato spezie,
Ok.
salsa di soia,
Ok.
pesto di fagioli giapponese,
Ok.
formaggio capra.
Di capra. Ok, ok, ok.
Molto importante,
Ok. Ah.
molto importante di questo riso. Io ho provato 2 volte di anche brodo particolare, questa
Sì.
brodo particolare è brodo gallina e brodo di anguilla.
Ok.
Tutti insieme, va bene? Abbinare
Ok.
bene questo riso, migliore,
Okay,
capito?
perfect. Okay, ちょっと待って、ちょっと説明します。Okay, so basically, Shizaki-san is going to prepare a risotto by combining, let's say, Italian and Japanese ingredients. So we are gonna have eel, fish, and then the long onion, and then the fresh wasabi. So made with fresh, yes, exactly, show it. And then we're gonna have the cocoa seed and beans. Yeah, exactly. And then soy sauce, and then bean paste, goat cheese, and the last one.
Last one, insalata e anche riso.
Okay, and of course the rice. He chose for this recipe the sant'andrea rice because he tried. He saw that it's perfect for this recipe, and he's going to use 2 types of broth. The broth with chicken and the broth with eel. So it's a very fusion type risotto. Ok, thank you. Ok, Shizaki?
Ok, faccio cuocere, va bene?
Sì.
Allora, metto di burro.
Ok. So it starts with butter.
E poi di questo olio di sesamo.
Ah, ok, sesame oil.
Sì.
Wow.
E poi di porri tritare, io faccio tritare, no? Non sottile. Venuto.
Sì. It shouldn't be too thin, ok? Wow.
È così. Faccio questo soffriggere.
Ok, so
E fuoco molto basso.
Should be the fire should be very low. Ok.
E poi molto fuoco basso, fine.
Sì.
L'importante di questo soffritto.
Okay, this is a very important part of the preparation. Okay, here is the eel.
E dopo tarlo anguilla. Questo è molto sottile, no?
Okay, the eel should be cut very thinly.
Guarda, fine.
Yeah, we see it. Okay, today we also have a cooking lesson, so it's Ludovica, are you taking notes?
Yes.
Allora, metto riso,
Okay, here is the rice, sant'andrea rice.
presto molta attenzione di fuoco ancora più basso.
So it's very important to keep the fire extremely low now.
Guarda di questo riso, quando friggere dopo, molto riso chiaro.
Okay. So you see that the rice is extremely clear.
È molto importante di risotto, molto faccio soft per soffriggere, hai capito?
So the rice should be very soft.
Allora, metto sake giapponese. Questo sake giapponese molto profumo.
Ah, okay. So this is and now he's gonna add Japanese sake,
Poco più alto.
which is very aromatic.
Allora metto anguilla.
So now he has the eel.
Allora, aggiungo il brodo. È importante di questo brodo molto caldo.
So it's important with the broth to be very hot.
Per cuocere circa 15-17 minuti.
Okay, so and it should cook for at least 15 and 17 minutes. Ok, Ishi, allora adesso parliamo con Ludovica e poi torniamo da te, va bene?
Va bene, sì.
Ok.
A dopo.
Ok, thank you. Adesso cerco di tornare su. Ok, so Ludovica is going to share his view from the perspective of the trade side, and so thank you very much for being here today, and please.
Yes, thank you, Alberto. Thanks a lot, and good morning, everyone. For you guys, there you are in European time, and arigato to chef. In the meantime, is getting ready with the risotto. Let me just share my screen.
Yes, please.
Because I have the PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, fantastic.
Everybody can see?
Is sharing? Okay, here is it.
Yeah, there we are. Okay, so my name is Ludovica. I'm living in Singapore since 2011, so it's been quite some time. Time flies, really. I'm working for a fine food distributor. The name of the distributor is Yurako Fine Food. Today we will be talking about the rice scene in this part of the world, which is Southeast Asia, specifically in the little island of Singapore. Yurako Fine Food was born in 1987, founded by Mr. Sebastian Tan, which is still our managing director, and has been growing till up to date and is still present in the market. We are handling different brands. We are doing not only food ingredients, but also pastry ingredients and also beverage like coffee and tea. The little red dot is also called Singapore. It's a small island. I would like to emphasize the fact that Singapore is only 700 kilometers square. Italy is 300,000 kilometers square. So it's a city that is highly density populated, and the total population is about 5.5 million people. And the F&B scene is quite well developed, as it is a developed country. We just divided from Malaysia with the Johor Strait. As you know, we are part of the ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Okay, so it's this big part on the map of the Southeast Asian countries. And as you can see, to see Singapore, we have to zoom into the ending part of Malaysia. So just to give you an idea, because from the TV always looks very, very big, but actually it's a small island, but with a strong presence in every market, and with a strategic position, especially as a hub, as an entry gate for the all Southeast Asian markets.
Right.
We also have the Michelin guide from 2016. We are the first nation to have the Michelin guide after, of course, Japan, which has like an incredible tradition and is a very big country compared to us. And Hong Kong and Macau, there are similar city-states. Hong Kong, that's it. Anyway, just to give you an idea of the F&B scene, I'm in charge of the food service, so specifically the distribution to the hotel, to the catering, to the hotel, restaurant and cafe. I'm not in charge of the retail. Anyway, I will show you some picture of the retail market just to give you an idea how is positioned the rice in the market, especially during this period of time in which the e-commerce, the online market has really boomed, also thanks in a way to the pandemic situation, globally wise. As you can see, compared to October, I put October 2019 because to have more reliable data compared to October 2020, because of I call it the pandemic here, as you can see. To give an idea of the total turnover for the F&B industry. Specifically, you can see the increment, the cost and increment, especially at the end of the year, which is peak season for us. The peak season for us starts in September with the Grand Prix. And this year, of course, there was no Grand Prix as well. So after the Grand Prix, that usually is in September, the last weekend of September, the sales will increase. We have more people in town, people start traveling, and the festive period is really, really a busy period for us. So you have more or less an overview in terms of number for the F&B scene in Singapore. Singapore, as I mentioned, as I emphasize a lot, is everybody can hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Okay. I emphasize that Singapore is a very small country. In fact, only 1% of the soil is for cultivation. Okay, so definitely we are forced to import everything. So we are not independent for the food supply.
Yeah.
So we really we have to rely on sources from outside the country. And as you can see, we are importing for everywhere in the world, from chicken from Brazil to like eggs from New Zealand. In fact, we had a really serious situation with the eggs because, you know, in Asia, the eggs consumption is very high. And we have to flew some eggs from Australia and New Zealand because Malaysia couldn't cope with our consumption because they were very concerned, for example, of their internal consumption first. So we know that we have to rely on external sources for food. Talking about rice, it's pretty stable in terms of consumption in the last decade. The numbers are in, of course, metric tons. And as you can see, we are more or less on 300 metric tons per year since 2010. So because the population hasn't increased significantly in the last decade, we have a very little increment of population on the island. We are talking about 0.2%, so very, very little. So accordingly with that, more or less, the internal consumption of rice is pretty stable. But it depends in the sense that which kind of rice we're consuming on the island. So let's see.
And that's why we are here.
and that's why we're here. Okay, it's just a simple screenshot because from my experience, when I tell people that people here are buy 10 kg, 20 kg bag of rice, for us it's unbelievable. It's like 5 kg, 10 kg, 25 kg of rice. I mean, is a war zone? No, actually no, because rice here is considered like for us bread. You have to have bread every day. It's a staple product. Is the base carbs in the diet. So imagine that in an average family of 4 people having rice once a day minimum, 20 kg of rice lasts 1 month at the average price of $25, more or less than 20 euro. So this gives you an idea of which kind of value perception the consumers have on rice. How much should cost rice, and what's the purpose of this ingredient in the diet? So in this sense, I consider the retail market difficult to develop and so far really underdeveloped, because the perceived value of the risotto rice, the Italian rice, is very difficult to position because of the price and the cooking method. Okay.
Which is so much different from the method that they use for the
yes, honestly,
the rice.
I heard now in Europe it's getting more common, but I never seen a rice cooker before in my life before moving outside Europe. So here the rice cooker is like for us the oven. Everybody
or
has
the
it.
mocha, or the mocha.
Or the mocha, yeah, precisely, or the mocha pot. Yes, the coffee pot. So everybody has the rice cooker. So rice is only steam, period. And the rice is purchased accordingly with the gluten content, the stickiness of the rice.
Right.
Okay. This is more or less, and in the shape of the grain, you can see there's not much specification of the type. Majority are brands, but not varieties per se.
Right.
Okay. The government is really increasing on the offers on the brown rice because of the health. Okay, because as a developed country, we are affected by very common diseases of a developed country like diabetes, high blood pressure, these kind of things. And brown rice seems to be like a healthier option on the glucose index.
Yeah,
talking about risotto rice, our Italian rice, more or less this is what the market is offering on the retail point of view.
Hey, Maurizio, I don't see yours. Sorry, I had to say that.
Maybe he's working on it, conquering
we are.
So risotto rice, as you can see, majority is just written risotto rice. So what is really relevant is the fact that it's not very common, the variety. And as you can see, I put a couple of examples of ready to make risotto. Those like bags already flavored. That the market is so little for these kind of things, because you know that for ready meal, the typical cup noodles, this kind of ready meals that you pour the water inside, you just have to put the water. The market is huge, and the price for these kind of things that convenient food is it's very low. So some brands are more common, some brands are more like...
So basically these are types of rice that are used in the retail, sold in the retail channel, right?
Yeah. And except one that is only in the retail market,
Okay.
the rest are also in the food service market.
I see. Okay. With the same size, this 1 kilo or half kilo pack, or?
Yes, yes. It's like for pasta. People sometimes are surprised, but the food service packaging doesn't exist. So
Okay. Sure.
for any type of pasta, doesn't mean if it's like very high hand or like a normal brand of Italian pasta.
Sure.
500 gram is like food service, and retail is the same type of packaging.
Okay. Fantastic.
Okay. From my perspective, my personal view for the Italian rice, majority of my chefs, they call me and they ask me, do you have, by the way, risotto rice? Can you give me one packet? Okay. So I never heard someone specifically requiring some kind of rice in the sense of variety of brand. Okay. But what I can tell you is one of those products that is unexpectedly not affected by the fake Italian product. Okay, because we have plenty of Italian sounding product. We all know this issue for our products, and which kind of economical damage is doing to our economy. So you will never see. You can see in the market a lot of Australian pasta, but you don't see Australian risotto rice. Yeah. No offense for our Aussie mates, okay, on the other side of the world. But again, on this, I think we really have to emphasize on the fact that it's difficult to counterfeit our product.
Yeah, definitely.
Risotto rice in the varieties that Maurizio and Massimo explained to us can only grow in our region, in our country. Okay, and for this reason, I really see there is a core product of Europe. That's why I say modern cuisine. I would say modern European cuisine. Every time I go to a French restaurant, and I love French cuisine, there is always a risotto.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're right. Definitely.
With their top product, top national product. So you have the risotto with foie gras on top. Then you have the risotto with chanterelle. Then you have the risotto with their Perigord truffles. So it's a combination, obviously. Okay, but unfortunately, I don't go to an Italian restaurant and I don't have the typical Milanese risotto. Maybe with the ossobuco. I know that maybe the weather is not fantastic, but there's plenty of German restaurants selling pork knuckle. That is not exactly the fantastic food for 30 degrees and 100% humidity. But people are eating these kind of things. People are eating schnitzel. So I don't see why our Milanese risotto cannot work here.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
I just conclude with again, it's very versatile in the sense that people are not able to replicate the cooking method of risotto at home because they know it's more complicated. They are aware of that because they can see the difference. Actually, I have plenty of people asking me, friends, hey, but by the way, how to cook risotto? Because they know that you cannot put it in the rice cooker. Okay, so they know that the majority of the consumption of the Italian rice is gonna be through the food service, so through the restaurant and the hotel, the professional channels, okay? Because there is an expertise behind. There is extra knowledge that is required to appreciate fully the product itself.
Yeah, you're right.
As I mentioned to you, the Japanese influence is perfect because we have plenty of Italian Japanese fusion restaurants. And with very good results, honestly, very good results. And I'm sorry, I have to say that I never seen the application of our rice as a side. What's wrong with that?
I did. I did it in the States. I saw it as a side dish. Yeah. Even I think in some North Europe, I think also is you can find it. But
And last but not least, I mean, everybody's appreciating like mango sticky rice. I know that we cannot do mango sticky rice for the reason that our expert explained, but I can recall that in Italian cuisine there are some that serve with rice. I mean, no?
Yeah, the rice cake. Rice cake is one example. It's very nice.
There is the Emilia Romagna cake is made with rice. I mean, it's not like very common, but we have like the rice pudding is appreciated. So I don't see this kind of application. They are not very like avant-garde because came from me that I'm not a chef. So
no, but it's
I'm just randomly giving my feedbacks, and I see Gordon Ramsay serving risotto, and I wish it could be more. And I know there is much more potential, and for this reason, definitely, it's a product in which we can really master the market.
No, you're right, and this is the reason of this webinar is not just providing ideas, but my initial idea was to highlight the potentials that we have with rice, with Italian rice, and by trying to explain why we should use this rice to make something different. First of all, to make risotto in general, being a traditional risotto or a fusion, as Ishizaki is doing now, or it's we have so many varieties, and some are unique to our country, and we definitely need to take advantage of these varieties, not for the business side, of course, but also to spread Italian cuisine and culture. So thank you very much, Ludovica. It was extremely interesting, and it's important to also to understand the perspective of who is selling Italian rice to the market. Definitely.
Thank you.
Okay, so Ishizaki-san? Ishizaki-san、聞こえないんですよ。ちょっとunmute. Okay, let me try to reach him. Ishizaki-san.
Hi. Yes.
Hey, eccoci.
Yes. Hey.
Okay, now we are back with Ishizaki. Okay, vediamo. Let's see what he's doing now. I believe that he's going to end the risotto. Yes. Let me spotlight.
Allora,
Okay, now yeah.
80% già cotto.
Okay, 80% is already cooked. So now he's adding the
Pesto di fagioli,
bean paste,
e goccio di soia,
just a few drops of soy sauce.
la mescola,
Yeah, just mixing.
allora questo mescola dopo molto cremoso questo risotto.
Yeah, it's gonna become extremely creamy. Here is 12. It's gonna become very difficult to just see.
Allora
I see
metto
Massimo
wasabi.
nodding. Yeah, wasabi. Ah, now wasabi.
Questo ultimo è finito fuoco,
Okay, last ingredient. Okay,
mescola,
mix again.
dopo molto profumo di wasabi.
Okay, wasabi flavor comes out strongly.
Ma perché metto pesto di fagioli? Arriva il gusto di dolce.
Ah, okay. The reason why he's using bean paste is because it provides a kind of sweetness, which is important for the overall balance.
Ultimo, metto
Okay, the very last.
formaggio e pecora.
is
capito? Non pecora, scusami.
capra. Esatto, goat cheese at the end. Wow.
Profumo di abbinare di wasabi e questo formaggio molto bene. Abbinare bene.
Yeah, the wasabi and goat cheese really match fantastically.
Brodo.
Now he's gonna add the last drops of broth, and you see how creamy it is. It's extremely creamy. And this is a similar recipe that Ishizaki-san had the chance to cook for the emperor of Japan. So it's something that wanted to combine Italian and Japanese cooking traditions. Because I have to say that the new Japanese emperor has always been a fan of Ishizaki cuisine. So even when he was just a prince. Ok.
Dopo ultimo questo cioccolato spezie.
Okay. Okay. So now he's adding the cocoa. Ma è cioccolato o cacao, scusa?
Questo cioccolato.
It's chocolate, sorry. It's dark chocolate, I think.
Molto profumo di spezie, no? È già pronto.
Is a spiced chocolate. Okay. Wow. Very, very nice.
Decorazione.
Ok.
Di questo tè verde.
This is green tea.
Yes. È molto profumo di tè verde e gusto molto misto, cioccolato, profumo di cioccolato, profumo di wasabi.
So mostly green tea provides a very nice aroma, whereas the flavor is absolutely mixed with the rest.
Ultimo goccio di insalatina.
Okay, a few leaves of salad.
Questo pepe nero.
Black pepper, corn.
E extravergine.
And of course, last but not least, the extra virgin olive oil. Wow. That's very interesting.
Allora, questo molto particolare come risotto di Ishizaki di stile fusion.
Yeah, this is a very is a fusion style, is a Ishizaki fusion style risotto. Oh wow, fantastic! Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you again, Ishizaki-san, and I will go back to Massimo, and so that he can explain to us his view on the sensorial experience of rice.
Yes, thank you, Alberto. It's difficult to speak after this nice visit to this dish. Because we are all hungry now. But just a few words about the sensorial analysis, because I got a lot of information also from Singapore side, other than from Japan. the Italian varieties are many. We just touched the tip of the iceberg. And there are not only different shape and size, different pearl size and position, there is different amylose content, and it is creating differences in thickness and consistency during cooking. And different dishes require different rice. Even the chef Ishizaki showed us he chose the Sant'Andrea variety because have some hardness, but also is creamy, and the dish he prepared is really creamy. So it depends on what rice, what dish do you prefer. So sometimes you prefer to use a Carnaroli variety, maybe for example to prepare a good Milanese risotto with ossobuco, as Ludovica would like to eat in Singapore. But for the preparation Ishizaki proposed us, Sant'Andrea is perfect. So pearl shape and size is not the only parameter to choose. In Italy, it's easier because for us it is obligatory to write the name of the variety in the package. We know outside Italy is not the same, but I hope our producer like Maurizio become more and more famous worldwide because they put the name of the variety in the package, so the consumer can try and taste and make an experience. We are trying to make this experience known to everybody with our courses on sensory analysis. Some of the courses are very basic, just to understand the differences among varieties, and to understand the defects, how to understand the quality, no? And the use in preparation of dishes. Some other are more detailed, so we go more in deep in understanding the aroma. So already in before cooking, I share you my screen just to show you. We put in glasses like wine, because it's the best way to see inside the shape inside, the pearl, the color of the grain. Where we are selling milled rice, semi-milled rice, so you have different also degree of milling, and it is creating differences in the flavor. So you can ask your supplier the different kind of milling level, and then you can put close to your nose to understand the aroma. And it is not true that all the varieties are the same. If you grow rice close to the mountains or with heavy soil or sandy soil, or in a warmer region, you have differences already in the ingredient like it is before cooking. We are trying to show to chef in the restaurants as well as the normal consumer that the good quality of the risotto or other preparation with rice depends from the beginning, even for the rough material. And so you can choose the difference. Then we cook and we make some tests, and it is very nice. I can share with you an experience. The same variety we prepare with two chefs, the same risotto with the same variety but grown in different location. And we asked the people in the room if they think it's the same variety or it's different. Everybody said it's different, but the only different thing was the origin, where it was grown. So we are trying to share this information to understand when you buy rice, like Ludovica said, we have just rice, no? But like that kind of rice, you would like to buy again the same. And to buy the same again, you need to know where it was grown, who was milling, and where it was packed, in which way. So there are many information. Also, now we are aging rice, like for wine. So there is 2-3 years aged rice, up to 7 years aged rice. So there are many factors affecting the good rice.
You know, Massimo, there is a question also about this because Cinzia is asking if for a good risotto, is it important to use aged Italian rice?
I like to answer to Cinzia. I would say that we are speaking worldwide. So if you have you are going close to Italian rice for the first time, maybe you don't feel the differences in aged rice and not aged rice. It's better to start checking different varieties and to start going confidence with it. Then, when you know more about rice, you would like to try also aged rice and compare it to not aged rice, and the consistency increase, and is maybe less creamy and more the hardness increase. And for a good risotto, or for many people, you would have the best results. So, Cinzia, go on with that one.
Fantastic. Okay, sorry, I was just interrupting because the question was in line with what you were saying about aging.
Yeah, I don't want to make it longer. I know that you have to give me the time, but I think I just wanted to inform the Italian producer and the international consumer that Italian rice is a word. It's very nice to be close to them and to try the different rice. Risotto is a special dish, but in Italy we are experimenting. We call the vertical of rice in the restaurants. We make experience that we are growing. We are organizing rice tasting experience with rice from aperitif to dessert. The rice can be used every time. We have so many different kind of rice, and the consumers are incredibly fascinating about that.
And you know what? Now you mentioned this. Like 15 or 18 years ago, I had as the same experience with Ishizaki. He was preparing. Was working for a television program, and he had to prepare all the dishes with rice, including the rice ice cream, which was very
yes.
So
everything. In Italy we are preparing also pizza with rice flour, beer with rice. Everything is the world is very huge. But for risotto, there is a need of specific rice. But there is not only one variety. There are several varieties and several producers. It is good to check the good variety, because for Ishizaki dish, Sant'Andrea was good. Maybe for another risotto dish, you need another one.
Yeah, exactly.
And the producer give its hands, his effects inside. We saw, for example, Maurizio Tabacchi is a family farm. They produce in some way in Vercelli, that is the capital of rice in Europe, we consider. So in that environment, with his growing technique, with his soil, the rice obtained there is unique. You cannot find the same in other place. So I would suggest to choose, to try, to enjoy that also.
And sorry, there is a question. Julia is asking, is it possible to cook risotto with brown rice?
Is it possible? Because we can make a lot of fusion recipe. Also Ishizaki tried something that mixed together Italy and Japan. I'm not so orthodox to say risotto it's only with one kind of rice, because I would like people to enjoy and prepare risotto and to find something new. If you start at the beginning, is better. I would suggest to prepare with the good Italian risotto rice. We are developing also, Maurizio is developing some black or red rice, and you can experiment it also for preparing risotto. The result will be different, but why not? I'm always saying, why not?
Fantastic. You're right. You're right. Okay. Thank you very much, Massimo.
Thank you too.
I believe now time has come. But if people want to know something about rice, and Massimo is also co-author of this book, which is a kind is a kind of rice Bible. So he will get all the information about Italian varieties, and it's very interesting. So I definitely recommend if you are interested in this topic to have a look. So thank you very much for everybody. Thank you for the attendees for the questions and the attention, and thanks of course to everybody in the panel. Thank you, Ishizaki-san. Thank you very much, grazie mille, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Ludovica. Thank you, Massimo. Thank you, Maurizio.
Grazie, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Grazie a tutti.
Thank you, Alberto.
Grazie.
Thank you, grazie.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye.
Take care.
Ciao.
Take care. Bye bye.
Stay safe. Bye bye.